Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how do I manage a missed trade or a losing position. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that I have been trading for 5 years, going on 6, and I have been teaching or coaching for 3 years. So after a while, you kind of develop like this hard shell. Now, it doesn't mean that you're never going to fail. It doesn't mean that you're not going to feel a losing position, but over time, losing positions and missed opportunities, they don't affect you as they will if you were just new to the market. So the number one thing that I like to do is I like to walk away from my charts. If I see that I've lost some money, or if I've seen that I analyzed the position, but maybe it just didn't do what I needed to do in order for me to enter the trade, I like to walk away before heading back to my chart. One of the reasons is because I want to regroup myself. I want to make sure that I'm not coming to the chart antsy or just ready to strike for the next opportunity. I want to make sure that I clear my mind, that I'm assessing myself. I want to make sure that I'm not rushing into anything, because what I've learned is, and this is what I used to do, after I would lose a trade, I would automatically go to my price chart, try to figure out what I did wrong, try to hurry up and get back into a trade, and then I would probably end up missing another opportunity, or I would lose another position. So then after that, I'm all frantic, I'm upset, I'm mad, and I would find myself revenge trading, increasing my lot size to get my money back. And that just doesn't work out for anybody, right? So a tip that I can give you is, if you've been doing this where you're revenge trading, you're getting in and out of positions, you're trying to make your money back, you're rushing to get back into a trade, take a breather, go for a walk, go work out, take a nap, take a hot or cold shower, whichever one is your preference. Go play a video game if you like video games. Just go do something that takes your minds off the chart just for a few hours. So that'll really help you. Instead of rushing back to your chart, you're regrouped, you're refreshed, you're refocused, and you are ready to tackle your charts again. Now, the second thing I like to do is I like to go through my risk management strategy. Now, for me, risk management is not just a lot size or your stop loss. Risk management actually deals with how you manage a position from beginning to the end. So this is something that I love to teach my one-on-one students and my coaching group once I've already taught them how to enter and exit trades properly. The reason why I teach my risk management technique after I teach the students or client how to trade is because you can't manage something you don't know how to enter and exit anyway. And so what we do is go through three stages. And the first stage is pre-market analysis, and that's basically your technique from beginning to the end. It's your trading routine. It's what you do before you enter a trade. Basically, when you analyze your price chart, the day and the time, when you're coming to your price charts to enter a trade, and it's always at specific times. Also, what do you do once you see your setup? That is when you're entering the trade. Where are you placing your take profit and your stop loss? And what is your risk tolerance? How much of your trading capital are you risking in that trade? So that's a whole nother video right there. But then the second stage is in market analysis, or in the trade analysis. And basically, how are you managing that position that you're in? When do you move the stop loss to break even or in profit? When do you add another position? If you have to manually exit the position, why, when, and where? What are your rules? Because you need rules for everything that you do. And then lastly is post-market analysis. Now, this is when you're out of the trade. Did you win the trade? Or if you didn't have a chance to enter the trade, but you've already done step one, which means you've done step one, but you're not in the trade, so you can't do step two. If price just goes where you can't enter the trade, there's a lot of momentum, it runs off without you, could you have done anything different to enter that setup? And this is where you have to govern yourself after that refresher, after that breather, and say, okay, well, what steps did I miss? Right? Now, typically the way I teach, you have a 2-part question and a 3-part rule checklist that needs to be checked off, right? So which one of the rules did you not do properly? And once we see which one we didn't do properly, then we can say for the next trade, okay, make sure you follow this specific rule so you don't miss the setup or you don't end up losing the trade. What if you just followed all your rules to the T? Now, if you follow all of your rules to the T, once again, don't get upset. Here's what I've learned. For the most part, even with my analysis, I can be right a lot of times, but the market does its own thing. We cannot control the market. We cannot control how the market moves. We can only control our actions and what we do. So if I end up missing the trade because maybe it just goes without me, meaning it didn't pull back enough for me to enter, my goal or job is not to figure out how I could have entered, how I could have moved I call it my estimation zone for where I want to enter the trade. It's not to figure out how I can add more to my chart. My goal is not to overwhelm myself as a trader. Such should be yours. Look at this as to say, well, price didn't pull back enough. There was nothing that I could do. You followed your rules, and always be thankful that you follow your rules, because sometimes it's the times you don't follow your rules and then you enter trades where you end up losing more money. Or you can actually end up making yourself frazzled because you knew you were supposed to follow your rules, and now that you've lost money, it makes you question yourself as a trader. And that's something that I don't ever want any of you guys to do, okay? So when it comes to how I am managing a lost trade, or how I manage a missed opportunity because price just goes off without me, I am questioning what step of my trading technique did I miss, and if I didn't miss any and I followed my rules, once again, I'm just going to go ahead and let it be. Now, the very last thing that I like to do is set up for the next position. Listen, depending on your trading style, you do not have long to sit and hover over that one setup. Figure out what happened, figure out what you need to fix. Maybe there's nothing you need to improve or fix. Maybe you did what you were supposed to do, but now is the time to set up for the next position so you don't miss that opportunity. Listen, you don't want to sit and loss for too long, meaning you don't want to sit and stare at that loss time after time after time after time again. The goal of a trader is to always improve, to be better in the next trade, to be better in the next setup, so you don't go through those bad habits. You don't go through those bad cycles of revenge trading, increasing your lot size, entering more trades than you should, because the goal of a trader is to keep money that you profit or not blow an account. One thing you don't want to do is sabotage yourself by creating unnecessary rules or feeling unnecessary feelings. Now, you aren't meant to feel. And so this is going to be another tip that I'm going to give you guys. How do I manage an analysis that just doesn't work out for me? Well, guess what? I feel it. If I'm mad, I feel it. If I'm upset, I feel it. If I want to cry, I'll cry. One of the things we've been taught as traders is not to have feelings. Well, God gave us feelings. And my philosophy is this: feel what you need to feel and then recover, overcome, improve, because you don't want to have that same feeling again. And even if you do have that same feeling again, that feeling starts to subside every time you feel it. And then you become a trader like me, who every once in a while, guess what? Even though you may feel you understand, there is nothing you can do. It wasn't in your control. Let it go and move on. Okay? Repetition does help. Failure does help, but we don't stay in failure. We grow from it. Okay? I pray that you guys like these tips. I pray that you guys use it for your next position. I want you guys to understand something that I've learned is that there's a lot of great traders out here, and you may be in a position where you're feeling like, well, Shaquan, my analysis doesn't work out for me most of the time. I'll be honest, when I coach other traders where I see what they're doing on their price charts, more than likely they're right a lot of times, or their setup is really good. It's just their emotions that's getting the best of them, or it's because they're sitting in their loss for too long and they need help overcoming it. And the quicker you get that solution, the better you'll be. Your feelings really won't get in the way, because now you'll be trading with logic, which is steps and rules that need to be checked off before you can enter a trade. So if you don't have those rules at the moment, or you don't have that trading plan, that is something you may want to start working on right now. But if you don't know what goes in that trading plan, if you don't have a technique that you could concretely repeat and trade time after time after time again, I highly encourage you to get on a one-on-one with me. It literally takes me less than 6 weeks to teach people how to trade. And when I say 6 weeks, I mean less than 6 hours, because we're only working 1 hour a week. Literally, it works that way. Okay, so if that is something that you're looking forward to, click the link down below to set up a free call with me so we can see if this is a right fit for you, and I pray that it is. So if you like the value and the tips that I've given in this video, make sure you give a thumbs up button, and make sure that you hit that like button so that the video can traction a little bit better in the YouTube algorithm. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, trading besties.